Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Lizzie and I am so happy to have you. Grab your favorite cozy beverage, a tea, a coffee, because today we are doing a speed build. I am so excited to be back with you guys. I have taken a bit of a almost 2-week break since, I had like 2 weeks of live streaming going on, which the end of the 2 weeks came and I was back to working full-time in the office, and so that is why there was an end to the live streams. And then I have just been trying to catch up on life and such. But before I get into life updates, let's talk a little bit about the build and the save file and where we are kind of at. So this is a restaurant, and I tried to make this lot a couple of different times on a couple of different lots. My original thought was I was going to make this into a gas station with a restaurant attached and have like a little convenience store type thing going on in the front for the gas station, and then we would have the restaurant and such in the back. But the lots in Evergreen Harbor are a lot smaller than I thought they were. We have a couple of larger lots, but those lots I have reserved for other builds, and I'm not willing to sacrifice those builds. So when I realized that I really only had 30 by 20s or smaller to work with, I kind of had to switch things up. So eventually I got to this lot. The inspo picture that I had found, I was like, okay, you know what? I am going to make this into like a little cafe, and we'll just come back to the whole restaurant gas station idea later. And then as I was building it out, I was like, you know what? This looks so much more like a restaurant than it does a cafe. I don't know what colors I would want to do for a cafe, so let's just make it the restaurant, and then we can put the gas station and the coffee shop together in one later on. So that is where we are at. This is solely a restaurant. We are going to go ahead and I will attempt to put the gas station and the cafe lot together in one in a different section of Evergreen Harbor. But yeah, that has been a lot more complicated than I thought, just because the gas station section pretty much takes up a 30 by 20 lot all on its own from the live edit debug item that is the gas station. So yeah, there is lots to work with there, and I really didn't want to spend a ton of time trying to figure out how I was going to fit that on a lot, because I had limited time to get this build done and out for you all, as well as this speed build edited and such for you all. So those are kind of some updates with Evergreen Harbor and this build itself. You will see later on adjust the floor plan 2 times. So you're going to see me do the floor plan and then it's going to change up a bit because I was not happy with the way that it looked. So bear with me as you guys kind of watch this. This was very much so one of those builds that I was just constantly adjusting until the very end. I think I'm happy with the way it turned out. To be honest, I think the building itself could have been smaller because there is a ton of seating in there, and that's not really what I was going for originally, but it's okay. I like the way that it turned out. I'm happy with it. Is it my favorite? Is it what I was necessarily envisioning? No, but you know what? That's okay. I have learned that not every build is going to come out just the way that you imagined it, and if I had had like a whole week to work on this, I probably could have gotten there, but you know what? It's not that big of a deal. And I just decided to let it go, let it be. So yes, as for the save file itself, I have not been getting builds out as fast or as efficiently as I would have liked, especially because I did take 2 weeks to solely live stream instead of working on really anything else. It's definitely put me behind, especially kind of getting my households up and running. I was building for those and, working on the save files for those and making the sims and such. So all of those things took quite a bit of time away from my save file, but I have 3 active households right now, which I will talk to you guys a little bit about later because I'm going to need some help. But I have 3 active households right now. I don't need any more. I am restricting myself from creating any more households. I had restricted myself at the beginning of the year to only 1, and now I'm up to 3. So No more households for me, which means that I will have a lot more time to commit to my save file once again. And I'm very much so looking forward to that. I think June, I should really be back in full swing, because this month, if you guys have not seen my community posts, then you wouldn't know. But if you have, then you already know that I am going to be leaving the country. By the time you see this, it will either be a day before I leave, or I will have already left. So I am leaving on, let me see here, Wednesday the 13th in the night. So I will be flying out to Europe, and I will be spending 2 whole weeks in Europe, which means there will be no Sims for me, sadly. But never fear, I have pre-recorded a couple of videos for you guys to watch, including this one. So yes, I am very excited, but I think this one is going to be coming out on Tuesday the 12th. So yes, I believe this one's going to be coming out on Tuesday the 12th, the day before I leave. And then you guys will get my 2 pre-recorded episodes for my current households that I have going on. You guys will get 2 pre-recorded episodes of those, and then I will be back in the States by the time those are over. So yes, lots going on, and obviously that means that I will not be building for 2 weeks time, and then it's pretty much the end of May. So unfortunately, it does appear that I will only have put out 2 builds this month for my save file, which is quite unfortunate, and I was really hoping to be more productive with my save file this month, because I really wasn't as productive last month with it as I would have liked, but that's life. And unfortunately, working a full-time job and doing all of my other hobbies that I have, it just takes a lot of time. And with traveling and all the things that have been going on too, just in my personal life, there just has not been much time to commit to the save file. And plus, I've just been really wanting to play the game, which I accomplished, and I did that. So I've played the game, and now I feel like I can kind of find that balance once I'm back home of playing with my households and recording for the save file. So I'm hoping that I will be getting out some more speed builds to you guys on this channel, especially starting in June, because in June I'm committed to really working my butt off and finishing Evergreen Harbor, if not getting super close. To think that I was really hopeful to finish this save file in April, not the save file, but this world in the save file, I was like, oh, I'm going so fast, like Evergreen Harbor is going to be done in April. And yeah, that did not happen. And I think part of that is because after I put out Willow Creek, I had the biggest creativity slump that I've had in a long time build-wise, and I think part of that is I've just been putting a lot of pressure on myself to make each build better than the last, and to really kind of up my game every time I build, and that's just not feasible. And it's also, you know, this is for fun and it's not that serious, and I think mentally I've been making it a lot more serious than it needs to be. Because yeah, this is for fun and it's not for anything else, and it's just for those, you know, I'm sharing it as I build it for those who want to download it, and I'm turning it into this thing that it's not. So mentally, I just have not been with it, and I think builds have been really intimidating me because there's a lot of things I want to try and put out there. There's a lot of things I want to try and build, especially in this world. There are so many like industrial type builds that I have saved, and I think I'm just really intimidated to start them. And I need to just kind of get over the hump and start, because like even this build, I was intimidated to start because I hate doing restaurants. I find them to be so annoying, and I never find the interior to be exactly how I want it. So yeah, even this build was intimidating me, but once I kind of got started and got the shape of it the way that I wanted it, it was breezy. I mean, there were problems, of course, with the interior, and there were still things that I struggled with, but once I start, I'm committed to it. So I think the biggest thing that I have learned this month is that instead of being extremely intimidated by all of these ideas and plans that I have for builds and things, I just need to start. And once I get started, it will all be okay. I felt the same way about the cathedral I made over Christmas, I believe, over winter, in December. I felt so intimidated by that build. And to be fair, I did make it twice, and I did spend like a solid 2 hours just changing the exterior colors of everything. But now it's one of the builds that I am the most proud of exterior wise. Interior, not so much. But exterior wise, it is one of the builds that I am the most proud of. And yeah, I feel like I'll have a couple of those in this world if I just force myself to get started and to stop overthinking it all. But anyways, enough of my rambling about my internal dilemmas. So as you can see right now, I was really struggling with the top of this build. It just was not coming out the way that I wanted it to. Thankfully, once I got to this point, I was relatively happy, and I do love the use of platforms to just help elevate roofs and the way that they look. And I did kind of the same thing with my bowling alley build, which was so fun to make. And I'm just really kind of leaning into that theme of like old town nostalgia for this entire save file, especially in Evergreen Harbor. This whole world will be old town, sort of more run down. I was originally thinking that this neighborhood in Evergreen Harbor was going to be a bit more built up and fancy, but once I was actually in it and building in it with the bowling alley, I realized that it did not have that vibe. Something that I did put on my Patreon is the idea of eventually coming back through. And if you guys have played with this pack, Eco Lifestyle, then you know that you can build the world up to where it is no longer like dingy and grungy and there's stuff all over. You can build it up so that it looks really nice and really eco-friendly, and the houses look eco-friendly, and they completely change their whole aesthetic. So I did play around with the idea of coming back through at some point once I have kind of finished the majority of the other worlds, if not all of them. Coming back through, upgrading the world to be the eco-friendly version, and redoing the builds here. Let me know if you guys have any interest in that. I don't find myself playing in that version of Evergreen Harbor much, but I was just in someone else's save file, and I can't remember whose it was, and I saw it built up the way that it can be if you go the eco-friendly route, and I was like, wow, you know what? This is really pretty, and I really should play in it more this way, but I don't. So anyways, let me know if you guys would be interested in that. If not a big deal, because that's a lot less work for me to do, and there's no commitment on my end either that I will be doing that, but it was just a thought that I had that I could come back through and redo that for those who like to play in the eco-friendly version of this world. So as you can see now, we're getting started on the interior. I was really struggling with the interior, but I really wanted this like makeshift bar in the middle of the diner because, I don't know, that just felt really nostalgic to me. So I was committed to having that there. And then you guys are going to see me struggle with colors and types of tables and chairs and all the things. So, but while you guys are watching me do that, let's talk about my current households. As I mentioned earlier, I have 3 current households now. I have Threads of Fate, I have my Occult Legacy, and I have Roots and Rains. If you guys have not watched, Threads of Fate is both. There is one episode of it up on my channel, and then there are quite a few live streams with that household as well. So you guys should go check those out. There are also, I believe, 2 live streams of Roots and Rains. If you guys have not caught those, you should definitely go check those out as well. And then, of course, my OG family, the Occult Legacy family. So I have 3 current households right now, and I'm a bit overwhelmed. There is absolutely no way that I am going to be able to record all of those households, do speed builds, my save file, it's just not feasible. I basically have like 1 day a week if I'm lucky to record. So yeah, it's not possible for me to record all of those households at this current point. So I did do a community post, and you guys can feel free to go vote on that, or just drop a comment down below of which household you would prefer for me to play off camera. Right now, I am leaning towards playing Roots and Rains off camera just because it gives more like cozy, no drama, no big like storyline plots to it. It's more just kind of like goal oriented and kind of gonna be the same thing every day. So for me, that's like a really easy household to play off camera and to post like screenshots of it on my Tumblr and then update you guys maybe once a month, once every other month on the progress that I've done with the household, and just do a current household update with that. So that's kind of what I'm leaning towards, because there really won't be much in terms of plot. I mean, of course, we'll find a boyfriend and all the things, but yeah, there's really not much drama that I think is going to go on. And I can try and save like any big plot points for the current household updates, but that is sort of what I'm leaning towards, is playing that one off camera, because it's also just like mindless and super cozy and a great way to unwind. And I was playing it off camera some already. But let me know your guys' thoughts, because if you guys are really adamant about seeing it, then I can move one of my other households off camera. I was debating between Roots and Rains and Occult Legacy. Occult Legacy, there is a lot more to the plot line, and I do have a bit of, plot planned already for Marlowe, but I am a little intimidated to kind of start. I'm intimidated to record the next episode because I know it's not going to go the exact way that I want it to for storytelling purposes, but that's okay. Nothing ever does in The Sims. So I just need to get over that and record it. But you guys will see them again when I get back from my trip. But let me know if you guys have a preference for Occult Legacy being played off camera with household updates, or if you would rather Roots and Rains be played off camera with household updates. And of course, if I get the chance to go live again, I can always play whichever household I normally play off camera on live. And the sad thing is that I would make Threads of Fate my live stream household, because that one is so fun to play on live with everyone, to spin the wheel and all the drama and the chaos. I don't have time to live stream. Literally, those 2 weeks of live stream were all I had. And now I am back to having a very active and noisy house. And yeah, it's not feasible for me to be live streaming much anymore. I have thought about doing maybe some late night no talking live streams. You guys can just listen to music while I build. But I don't know. I haven't decided about that yet. I might just rather turn everything into a speed build so I can yap to you guys when I feel like it. But yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on all of that. I definitely miss hanging out with you guys on live, and I miss playing with my household, so I'm excited to come back from vacation and get back into the swing of all of that, because yeah, I do miss it. But you guys are going to go ahead and see Threads of Fate while I am gone. You will also be seeing a household update for Roots and Rains. So there will be 2 household updates for both of those families. Like I said, Occult Legacy, I will get back to when I come back from my trip. To be honest with you guys, I have not yet edited Threads of Fate, and I have no idea what happened in that episode. I mean, I remember like the big plot point that happened, but I have no idea what I said. I have no idea what my Sims were doing. I swear I think I blacked out. So I apologize if that episode is a hot mess. As you can see here, I'm still working on the interior. I have not yet switched out the tables and the chairs, which is going to be the thing that changes here. So I'm going to work on the walls, I believe, a little bit, and then you guys will kind of see me swap out all the tables and the chairs and how the booths are situated. I don't know if you guys have Red Robin where you live, but that little entrance, the rounded entrance with the little host stations, reminds me exactly of that. So yeah. But I definitely, looking back on this now, I am very happy that I changed the way that the tables looked and the way that the booths were situated, because looking at this, I am so not a fan. There is less seating this way, I think. I think there is less seating this way. But yeah, wow, I really don't like this. So I'm very glad that I changed that for you guys. I was struggling so hard with the interior on this, and so I went to Pinterest, and because I knew I was not satisfied, so I went to Pinterest and looked up some old diner interior pictures, and I kind of just followed those as a guide. And you can see here, like, I'm going through and changing all the colors because I'm not satisfied with the way that anything looks. And yeah, this build honestly really worked me interior wise. But yeah, and then I would also love to know another thing. You guys know that I love your feedback. So I would love to know which world you guys think you would like to see next. I think the one world that I am dreading the most is Newcrest, because I have no idea how I want that world to look. I'm thinking maybe kind of following the theme of Evergreen Harbor and doing like Pacific Northwest. But that's not the vibe of the world now at all. So I'm not sure how that's going to look. And I don't know if I should make it more run down or more built up or more historic, or if there's a different theme that I should be going for, because this world is kind of following like Life is Strange and those kind of video games type vibe build wise. So I could do the same thing for Newcrest, or at least one of the neighborhoods in Newcrest, because I do really love that aesthetic. And I think it's super fun and super realistic. And that is what a lot of people have said about my save file thus far, is that they love how realistic it is, which I'm so happy that you guys think so, because that was what I was definitely trying to achieve. But yeah, let me know first what your guys' thoughts are on a vibe for Newcrest. If you have any opinions on that at all, I would love to hear them. And then second, which world I should start next. And don't say Newcrest, because I'm not starting that world next. I'm actually thinking, with all the work that I did on my Roots and Rains legacy household, that house in general, finding lots for those worlds, I realized there really aren't that many lots for Henford-on-Bagley or for Chestnut Ridge. There really aren't. There's more for Chestnut Ridge than there are for Henford-on-Bagley. So I am maybe leaning towards one of those, because I think those could be really fun. And I have like a ton of inspo pinned for both of those that I would love to start working on. And when I was working on my Roots and Rains household, I was like, wow, I just want to start Henford-on-Bagley in my save file. And now that I'm kind of out of that stage, I'm like, I don't know what I should do. But let me know if you guys would want to see one of those worlds done next, or if there is another world that you guys would want to see done next, because your girl is at a loss. And we do have a while. We have plenty of time until I need to decide where I'm going, because Evergreen Harbor is not nearly done. We have quite a few lots left, and all I want to do is build, and I don't have the time. I don't have the time. But like I said, June is going to be the month of building. And if it's not, then you guys can kick my butt, because I have now said for like 2 months straight that this next month will be the month of building, and it is not. So my idea here for the walls was to really just clutter them up as much as possible, because I feel like a lot of Old Town diners, or like breakfast diners with this vibe, really have cluttered up walls full of memorabilia and pictures of like important people who have come to their restaurant, important people to the town. Again, like lots of memorabilia from the town itself, from the restaurant. So that's kind of what I was going for with this on the walls. Now, again, I don't believe at least that the diner, like the bar of the diner, is going to be functional. And here you can see I'm switching where the booths are going to be placed and how that's all going to look. In fact, I think I took the booths out in general because they're so big. If we had smaller booths, I would love to use them, but they are so ginormous and kind of a bit of an eyesore that I really hate to use them unless I'm using them in like a specific type of restaurant where it doesn't look so out of place. But like in this, I felt like it kind of looked out of place. And then the corner booths, I mean, they don't even count as seats. So, and you can only sit 2 Sims there anyways. So those are kind of just a pain. But as you can see, this adds tons of more seating and yeah, really fills in the space. So now there are lots of tables and chairs for your Sims to sit at and pick where they want to eat and all the things. So you'll see me really switch to this this vibe for the entirety of the restaurant. And I completely lost my train of thought of what I was saying and where I was going with all of that. But it does look like we are close to the end of the speed build here. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys with the music. And yeah, feel free to leave comments on any of the stuff that I talked about because I'm always open to feedback and your guys' opinions and thoughts. Because I'm constantly looking for inspiration and ideas, and since I am sharing this with all of you, of course, your guys' opinions matter to me quite a bit. So I hope you guys enjoyed this speed build. I surely enjoyed making it and chatting with you guys and just kind of doing a little brain dump because it has been quite some time since I have done that, and I am very much so looking forward to coming back and putting out more speed builds for you guys. So yeah, if you enjoyed, please do not forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all very soon in the next one. Bye, guys.